The purpose of this video is to introduce Diigo. Diigo is a tool. It is something you'll download as a browser extension, meaning it'll appear as a toolbar whenever you open the browser on the device you download this on. Diigo will be used to annotate anything you read online, and it will get to count as an assignment for class. So you can start by opening your web browser and going to www.diigo.com/tools. So Diigo is spelled with two I's, diigo.com/tools. So you have three download options. The first is Diigo extension for Firefox. The second is Diigo for mobile. So if you use your tablet or cell phone for your reading that you do, you can feel free to download it for mobile. Or I'm going to install this one here called Diigo, and it supports all browsers. So you can start by clicking install, and then it instructs you to drag this D icon up to your browser's bookmarks bar. So I'm going to do that now. And that's my bookmarks, so I'm going to just drag it there and then let go. And then you can see at the bottom here, it says Diigo. Alright, so I did that. And then I'm just going to double click where it says Diigo. And it's loading, and now it says sign in or create a Diigo account now. And so I'll click there. I'm going to choose the free option. You're welcome to choose the basic option if you prefer. It has no ads that way, and you can have more highlights, but the free version should suffice for our purposes for class. Then you need to create a username and a password, and then you can say, I'm not a robot, and create your account. And then once you have successfully created an account, it will take just a second, and then it shows you what your Diigo will look like typically. And so inside of your Diigo, you'll see something called My Library. Now everything that you use Diigo for is going to show up in this library. So once you're to this step, you'll see instructions for getting started with Chrome extension, or if you scroll down, you will see getting started with Diigo. And so depending on the version you downloaded, that will depend on which one of these you want to read. But essentially, it's going to walk you through the different tools that you can use in Diigo. The ones you should pay attention to is the highlighting. So highlighting is going to let you mark something of importance on the page, and then once you highlight something, the feature I choose to use is either the comment or the add sticky notes, and it will give you instructions on how to do that. So essentially, once you highlight something, a little toolbar will pop up, and it will give you the option to use a sticky note or to highlight. And then once you leave a page, if you've saved it, it's going to appear in your Diigo library. So everything that you annotate online will be saved on this main screen. This is also how I will check your progress each week. Is I will sign into your account, and I'll just scan through the different articles that you've chosen to annotate. So how much needs to be annotated? You should annotate every other paragraph, and you should try to use as many reading strategies as you can. So for example, summarization, prediction, asking questions, making connections, and more. You can see the other video for the instructions on how to use different reading strategies. If you have trouble downloading Diigo, you can always turn to Google for help. Everybody's computers are slightly different, but if you type in the version of Windows or with Mac, which OS you're running, and then use the word installing Diigo or Diigo help with your computer operating system, usually you will find some helpful tools there. If not, you can always email me and ask your questions. I'm not a technology expert, but I'll do the best I can. So when you are annotating online, you may choose to read anything that is of interest to you. The one recommendation I make is that you should be reading something that is at or slightly above your reading level. So don't just read fluff, but read something that you're going to learn from, something that you need to think about as you read. And I will suggest some websites. One website I suggest is npr.org. It is a news website, but they go in depth on a lot of topics. You can find anything that you're interested in. So I'm just going to pick this first article here. The FBI affirms July decision not to charge Clinton after review of Weiner emails. And so if I would like to annotate on this, I need to simply click on my bookmarks tab or toolbar and then scroll down to Diigo. And then this handy toolbar pops up. So I can start reading. All right, so we have an update at 7:46 p.m. Eastern Time. Following up on his letter that set off a firestorm of speculation just 2 weeks before U.S. voters head to the polls to choose a new president, FBI Director James Comey says the investigative team that analyzed a new trove of emails that were either to or from Hillary Clinton has finished its work, and that the review doesn't change the findings he put forth in July, when he said no charges will be pursued against Clinton. All right, so after that first paragraph, it seems like a good time to use one of my reading strategies. So to sum up, I'm just going to highlight this part and then click sticky note, and I'm going to say FBI's investigation is concluded. Clinton will not be criminally charged. And the reading strategy I used there is called summarization. So I'm going to put summarization in parentheses. And then I'm going to say post. Okay, and so if you look on the left here, I think I need to move my screenshot over a bit so you can see that. If you look way on the left, you'll see this number 1. That's my first sticky note, and it has my summarization, and then I'm ready to continue on. Since my letter, the FBI investigative team has been working around the clock to process and review a large volume of emails from a device obtained in connection with an unrelated criminal investigation, Comey wrote Sunday in an official communication with 16 chairmen and ranking members of relevant House and Senate committees. Based on our review, we have not changed our conclusions that we expressed in July with respect to Secretary Clinton, Comey wrote Sunday. All right, so I've read 2 paragraphs, so I feel I should pause and add another sticky note. So I'm just going to highlight this last part here to have a marker for my sticky note. And I'll say, I wonder why they decided to announce they were reopening the investigation when it turned out to not change anything. And the strategy I just used there is questioning. And I will say post. And so now way over on the left here, I have 2 sticky notes, and I personally like to move them down and kind of keep them near where I made the annotation. If you use the highlight feature, it will keep the sticky note together or near that paragraph that you highlighted. Anyway, I will stop with the modeling here, but essentially you read through, and as you're reading, you pause to think. You can summarize, question, make connections, If there's a word you don't understand, that can be a type of question that you use as well. And as I mentioned before, there's another video that goes through the reading strategies. Thanks for watching and happy reading!